It is a beautiful evening and a warm welcome. This is a live broadcast of the Sunday edition. We're live at the Hill in Pocket Highlands, Harare, the capital city. I am Liam Bernard with Peaceway Jomunyeka, interpreting the bulletin in sign language.
My name is Joyce Mabika. Thank you for joining us once again on this Sunday edition. These are our leading stories tonight. New rail link between Zimbabwe and Zambia to boost regional trade and logistics efficiency.
Student-teacher transforms learning process by integrating music in our This and That feature tonight.
A grade 7 learner from Zhishavane develops mine safety car. We get more from Courage Boucher in our science and technology feature.
And buzzing in a sports buzz, young mighty warriors fall 2-0 to Uganda in a 2026 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifier. Those are our leading stories tonight. We start off with our first report.
Zimbabwe and Zambia have signed a landmark memorandum of understanding for the construction of a 2.18 billion United States dollar Lionsden-Kafue railway line, a project expected to transform regional connectivity and trade.
The proposed railway line is expected to enhance trade efficiency between the two nations, that is Zimbabwe and Zambia, as the region moves to scale up inter-Africa commerce, with the project set to significantly shorten transit distances to key ports and also reduce logistics costs, a move that is expected to position rail as a competitive mode of transport. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Engineer Joy Makumbe, says the MOU outlines a comprehensive framework for the development of the cross-border railway line, which will stretch approximately 311 kilometers, of which 217 kilometers will be in Zimbabwe, and the rest, that is 94 kilometers, will be in the neighboring country, Zambia.
It follows the existing highway and uses the 1067 millimeter Cape gauge with provisions for future upgrade to a standard gauge. 16 stations and 2 marshalling yards will be established along the line. 2, the economic and logistics benefits. The railway route will reduce transit distances significantly.
Zimbabwe's Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Felix Mona, said the project is a game changer that will strengthen Zimbabwe's position as a regional transit hub while boosting trade volumes between the two nations.
Through our heads of state, they are championing this element of oneness. And you see that historically, we are the Siamese twins, and we want to ride on that trajectory, given the strategic location of the country. And also, not only the Beira corridor, we are also pursuing again even the route that is in terms of Chirundu Road. And very soon, June, we'll be starting working on the Chirundu border post again, which is also a major milestone. So this will enhance connectivity again, ease of doing business.
The Zambian minister highlighted that this project is a critical pillar for the African Continental Free Trade Area by lowering the prohibitive cost of transport and logistics.
This indeed is one of those steps that will begin to bring closer to home that actualization of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Africa must learn to trade with herself even before we begin to look elsewhere.
The President, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, says promoting trade and other mutual investments in various sectors, including transport and infrastructure, should be prioritized between Zimbabwe and Zambia.
As leaders, we have an inevitable duty to ensure that we leverage on each other's comparative advantages and natural resources endowments to leapfrog the development, modernization, and industrialization of our respective economies. More work must be undertaken so that our strategic partnership delivers more benefits to our people. There is scope for greater cooperation to promote trade and mutual investments in transport, infrastructure, in energy, in mining and agriculture, among many others. Cooperation in sectors such as energy and transport infrastructure remain critical. More so, that good transport networks are enablers to trade, investment and development between our two countries, as well as regional integration.
This project also requires close trilateral cooperation, with the involvement of Mozambique remaining critical to the successful implementation of this project, ensuring that the extension from Lionsdale to Beira through Harare and the Machipanda border post operates without bottlenecks. By integrating these networks, the region is moving a step closer to the realization of an integrated economic market under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Yolande Moyo, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Deputy Chief Secretary, Presidential Communications, Mr. George Charamba, has added his voice on the gist of the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill, saying constitutions are living documents and can be changed to suit citizens' aspirations. Our political editor, Bruce Jawanda, reports.
Information gathered during countrywide public consultation on the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill is being collected by Parliament after a rigorous engagement 2 weeks ago. While Zimbabweans await the parliamentary debate regarding information gathered, Deputy Chief Secretary, Presidential Communications, Mr. George Charamba, has weighed in, saying a constitution is a living document, hence there is nothing unusual about the process underway, highlighting that only a few countries directly elected the president.
There are very few countries where presidents are elected. Very few countries, if you mention them, if you want to mention them, right? So really, it's a decision which the Zimbabweans did, right? And from 88 moving to 2023, we have seen what having an elective presidency does to national cohesion, does to electoral politics in this country. Let's wait for the consultation process, let's get the outcome, and let the majority prevail, and then we proceed accordingly. So really, the upshot of it is that there is nothing unusual about what is happening presently. And let me state, this is not the constitution which is being changed. It is an aspect of it which is being amended. And not the first one, and not even the last one. We've had 2 more amendments. We are going through the 3rd one. We might go through the 4th one, 5th one, who knows, the 10th, right? And that is very much consistent.
Mr. Charamba explained the genealogy of the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill and declared that referendum does not usurp the powers of Parliament.
The 3rd myth, which I want to explore, relates to what is termed usurpation of voting rights from the public by transferring the election of the president to Parliament. I wonder whether this is just sheer mischief or short memory, amnesia if you want. Those who were old enough to participate and follow proceedings of 2013 will know that even after the referendum, that outcome of the referendum still had to be processed through Parliament. What that means is that a referendum does not usurp the power of Parliament. It simply provides a popular basis for legislative action. Otherwise, a law, the body which is recognized as responsible for any changes, be they at the level of the primary law or at the level of subsidiary laws, is Parliament.
Globally, constitutions are amended in line with ever-evolving needs of the citizens. Mr. Charamba gives a historical perspective regarding constitutional amendments.
From 1890 to 1980, you have your BSA company with its own company policies as the governing instrument. You have your Machiavellian Order and Council of 1894. You have your Southern Rhodesia Order and Council of 1898. You have your 1923 Constitution. You have your 1961 Constitution. You have your UDI instrument of governance. You have your internal settlement of 1978 to 79, and then ultimately you have your Lancaster House Conference, which kept on being amended as we moved into independence. Such that, I mean, by the time we then get to 2013, sorry, Lancaster was the most amended constitution Zimbabwe has ever experienced. And that tells you the pressures of governance, the pressures of our citizen aspirations, and how these were translating into further amendments and changes to the constitution. So let's move away, dear Zimbabweans, from this myth of thinking that the constitution is immutable. It is changeless. It is
the Constitutional Amendment Number 3 Bill seeks, among other provisions, to extend the country's electoral cycle from 5 to 7 years and allowing a parliamentary process for the election of the president. The bill also seeks to move the administration of the voters' roll from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, ZEC, to the Registrar General's office and establishment of the Zimbabwe Delimitation Commission. Bruce Jawanda, SABC News, Harare.
The visiting United Nations delegation, which is in the country at the invitation of the government, has toured the Great Zimbabwe Monument, describing it as a remarkable symbol of Zimbabwe's rich cultural heritage.
The visit by the United Nations delegation to the Great Zimbabwe Monument forms part of a high-level familiarization tour linked to Zimbabwe's bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. The delegation was welcomed by Masvingo Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Ezra Chadzamira, and was accompanied by Zimbabwe's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Taonga Mshayavanu, among other senior government officials. The team toured the Hill Complex, the museum, the Shona Cultural Village, and the Conical Tower, commending Zimbabwe for preserving cultural heritage.
We came today and we saw this wonderful site and the conical tower that is unique in its structure and in infrastructure. I was amazed by seeing all the walls, by seeing all the infrastructure that was built by our ancestors, our common ancestors at some point. So I want to say thank you for organizing it and for taking care about this site, so that we can come today and see this wonderful, another wonder of the current civilization.
The visit to Great Zimbabwe, a symbol of the country's rich cultural heritage, is meant to showcase Zimbabwe's historical legacy and its potential to contribute meaningfully to the international dialogue on sustainable development, tourism, and cultural preservation, all key pillars within the United Nations framework.
We are showcasing Zimbabwe's great history as a peacemaker in the world, our contribution to peacekeeping around the world, and our contribution to negotiations for peace around the world. So this really showcases where we came from.
Tinofara zvikuru nevisit yaitwa ne-United Nations representatives vauya kuno kumasvingo kwedu. Takatarisana maringe nekuchengetedza tsika dzedu nemagariro edu senyika nhoroondo yedu, uyezve takatarisana nenyaya yekuti Zimbabwe iri kubhidha for a security seat United Nations. Zvinotibetsera kuti vanoona kuti nyika yedu yakamira sei.
Zimbabwe is bidding for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the 2027 to 2028 term. Mace Matina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
The Independence Flame Roadshow continues in Matabeleland South Province, with the iconic flame descending on Manama in Gwanda South today. The details.
It was in January 1977 when the entire school of Manama left to join the liberation struggle, and the whole community of Gwanda South was stunned. But this was sheer dedication by the students who had seen the brutality of the Smith's regime, and they wanted to liberate their country from the jaws of colonialism. As such, it is no coincidence that the flame of independence has been taken to this historic site. And to the people of Ghana South and the people of Manama, this honor is something that they cherish.
Ntoya deng ne re bonanka e tolula ileji we sena hore re toba wine go putso ya hore kana ka 1977 we ne bana ba bileng ba jiwa ba yamping mara ba se itsholi ka hore ba ne bangwe ba de ba ne ba tseba hore lefatshe re tshwanetse hore le lwelwe.
I am very, very grateful that this has been recognized as a place of importance, because a lot of those girls I trained with, but they were left in the war. They were killed during the war. I watched them die, but I was lucky one of them to survive. So that importance aspect of the government recognizing Manama is really important.
We want to thank the government of Zimbabwe for coming here at Manama and they recognize the role which was played by the Evangelical Lutheran Church when the students were taken. It's not only the students who were taken from Manama.
The Independence Flame Roadshow is ongoing in Matabeleland South, with the flame being taken to all the 7 districts before being lit at Ratanyana Battlesite Museum on the 17th, on the eve of the independence celebrations in Mapisa.
We are proud as National Museums that Manama High School is one of our most prized liberation heritage sites because of the history that it holds. The story of the children at Manama tells the issue of sacrifice, the utmost sacrifice that was given.
Matabeleland South will host this year's National Independence celebrations at Mapisa Business Center, running under the theme ZIMET 46, Unity and Development towards Vision 2030. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
It is barely a week before Zimbabwe commemorates 46 years of independence. In our next story, our news crew spoke to citizens on their views on strides made after attainment of independence.
46 years ago, Zimbabweans came out in their numbers and gathered here at the Rufaro Stadium in Bari to celebrate the nation's independence. The historic midnight ceremony saw the lowering of the Union Jack, bringing to an end British colonial rule. For the first time, the raising of the Zimbabwean flag, marking the dawn of a sovereign nation, Zimbabwe. This was more than just an event. For Zimbabweans, it was freedom, it was self-governance, and it was a testament of the ultimate sacrifice that was paid by those who fought in the liberation struggle. And only joy filled the hearts of those who were present. Now, 46 years later, that same feeling is still alive in Zimbabweans.
Ini ndandine makore 21 muna 1980 ndakanzwa kufara ndichinzwa kuti Zimbabwe yasununguka. Nokuti kune zvimwe zvandakanga ndasangana nazvo mushure umu zvairema zvairwadza. Nyaya yeindependence yakandikoshera kusvika nhasi kuti nyika yedu inotongwa nesu. Pamba kana pachitongwa nababa vepo, vanhu vese muripo makasununguka.
Tine kuzvitonga kuzere, tiri kukwanisa kuitawo mabhizinesi edu akasiyana siyana.
Aiwa, upenyu hwakasununguka zviri kufadza. Vana vari kuenda kuzvikoro, tiri kuenda kumabasa, zvese zviri kuendeka.
Isu sema black girls tadai takatotorwa tiri kunoshanda kune vamwe vanhu tiri separated nehama dzedu neana mai vedu, but now tiri kufamba muno, tiri kushanda zvatinoda, tiri kudya zvatinoda, tiri kupfeka zvatinoda, tiri kunamata zvatinoda.
Zimbabweans also highlighted how in 46 years the government has transformed the country and has implemented policies that have empowered them economically.
When you look at my areas akata sana land, hapasisina concept yekunzi ava veganda rakadai ndo vanorima, ava ndo now chero ini ndoda totanga yangu project. Antinoona. Saka zvinotipa zvakawanda zvekuita, chero chikoro chikandiremera. There are so many other things that I can do because tiri independent.
Vakagadzira ma roads akati one day. Zvotoenda mazowe kana wenda chirundu road vagadzira kana masvingo.
Under the Second Republic, national events have been decentralized through the devolution framework, giving Zimbabweans across all 10 provinces an opportunity to experience them. And this year's independence celebrations will be held in Mapisa, Matebeleland South under the theme Zim at 46, Unity and Development towards Vision 2030. Panashe Nagoli, ZBC News, Harare.
Indeed, the countdown begins. And now more than 70 women entrepreneurs have graduated from the 4th edition of the Zim Trade Next She Exporter program, with government calling for increased utilization of indigenous knowledge systems to boost Zimbabwe's export competitiveness. Our business reporter, Owen Mandova, reports.
The colorful IT event organized by Zim Trade marked another milestone in empowering women-led enterprises to access regional and international markets. This Friday, 78 women graduated from the 3rd edition of the Next She Exporter program and highlighted the impact made by the initiative as they venture into the export market.
Farigwa chaiko chaiko rakarongeka. Nokurudzira vechidiki kuti vechidiki vasagara maoko. Nokuti kana vakagara maoko hapana chavanobudisa mukati meupenyu.
It's something that's innovative. It's like a huge change, right? So it showed me that we really need to be standing up for women in male-dominated fields.
A guest of honor, the Secretary for Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Albert Chimbindi, noted that women are increasingly becoming key drivers of export growth, innovation and value addition.
This initiative reflects an important transformation within Zimbabwe's trade landscape, where women are no longer merely participants, but are increasingly emerging as key drivers of export growth, innovation, and value addition.
Zim Trade Chief Executive Officer Mr. Alan Majuru says the program has successfully helped women-led businesses to become exporters, especially using indigenous heritage-based products, which give Zimbabwe a competitive edge in exports.
We are going to move forward to make sure that they go global, even in Europe and beyond. And also, we have partnered with the International Trade Center to put in place a She Trade Hub to also make sure that we complement each other and making sure that our women enterprises go beyond our borders.
The Next She Exporter program continues to position women at the center of Zimbabwe's exports development strategy. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The people of Guruve in Mashonaland Central Province are benefiting from the Second Republic's high social impact projects after the commissioning of Mwembezi Bridge at Chimanga village.
Pomp and fanfare characterized the opening of Mwembezi Causeway in Guruve. Residents of the area were overjoyed as this development comes 46 years after independence.
Village health worker Bibiana Chafesuka was among the residents who celebrated the opening of the bridge.
Sambuya utano ini ndonzwa kufara kana tiona bridge nokuti chero ma reports ataisangana nawo ataikwanisa bridge kana rakazara tinoshaya kokuenda tinenge takangomira kureva kuti ndufu dzinenge dzichiwanda saka tiri kunzwa kufara zvichiburikidza naMP wedu napresident wedu nebasa ravakatiitira iri.
Dambudziko guru sarataive naro ndiri kuwana rwizi rwakazara. Ndinoda kuenda kuGuruve ndowana rwizi rwakazara saka ndakutodzokera kwaBerejeni ndozonotora route yekuenda kwaMudindo inova approximately 14 kilometers.
Mashonaland Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, credited government's Inclusive Development Trust for ensuring the project comes to fruition.
Mwembezi Bridge kuno kuward 10 kuGuruve South constituency. I project yatinoita tape from His Excellency is mantra yekuti hapana munhu kana nzvimbo zvinofanira kusara. Takatarisana ne kukosha kwezambuko riri panapa.
The bridge was built by the Rural Infrastructure Development Agency, RIDA, with the community and area legislator also chipping in with resources and manpower.
Mwembezi Causeway
takaritanga muna July 2024 tikaripedza muna March muno. Saka takaimprove kuita causeway ine openings ati kutaura 9 openings.
RIDA is also seized with other road construction and rehabilitation projects which are part of its 2,400 kilometer road network across Mashonaland Central Province.
With projects like Mwembezi Bridge, the Second Republic's drive to modernize rural infrastructure is improving livelihoods, enhancing social connectivity, and opening economic opportunities. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Gurube.
Government says it has put in place effective strategies to ensure the national food security at affordable prices amid global geopolitical risks.
Presenting on the implications of the Iran war on the cost of agricultural inputs and food security, the Ministry of Agriculture, Mechanization and Water Resources Development said government has taken a whole sector approach to ensure the cost of agricultural inputs remains affordable. Now, this was said at the inaugural Africa Economic Development Strategies First Quarter Economic Review Conference held in Harare this week.
We need to build farmer resilience through subsidies that are targeted and also improve efficiency in terms of fertilizer application. There is enough for the presidential input scheme, and we can smile. The 2025-26 season has been very promising. We are coming out of a good season. Hopefully that will actually minimize the impact of the war and minimize the food security challenges.
Speaking on the sidelines of the conference, Africa Economic Development Strategies Executive Director, Professor Gift Mugano, said the tight monetary policy stance by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe in the first quarter has averted inflation, which could have had serious implications on food prices.
In trying to contain these external shocks, it's not the responsibility of government alone. Business also have to play a critical role. So we have to bring the critical actors into the space. We have to be self-sustaining, particularly in areas where we can actually substitute imports, whether it's agricultural inputs, whether it's agricultural commodities, food security issues in particular.
The Africa Economic Development Strategies Conference, which brought together government and captains of industry, was held under the theme First Quarter Economic Review, Dialogue on Geopolitical Risks, Implications on Zimbabwe, and Policy Options. Panashana Goli, ZBC News, Harare.
As tensions in the Middle East continue to disrupt travel flows into key destinations such as Dubai, Zimbabwe is positioning itself to tap into shifting global tourism patterns, targeting high-value travelers seeking alternative destinations. More from our reporter, Yolanda Moyo.
Traditionally one of the world's busiest tourism and transit destinations, Dubai is now experiencing travel advisories and itinerary adjustments due to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, forcing global tourists and operators to consider alternative routes and destinations. So what does the conflict in the Gulf present for Zimbabwe's tourism industry? To get this answer, we managed to speak to some of the industry players who highlighted that now it is the time to act and look at this as an opportunity to attract attention into Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe is actually anchoring on the naturalness of the Victoria Falls and also on the good name that has already been out in the market. We just need to then increase on our marketing foothold throughout the whole world.
Going forward, it's looking quite positive that obviously we've become almost like a safe destination with all the geopolitical issues happening in the Middle East. We have seen quite a bit of traffic moving more to Southern Africa and Africa because we've become a safe haven for travelers.
At policy level, government says it is moving to capitalize on these global shifts, leveraging on the diplomatic tourism attachés and regional cooperation frameworks to expand its visibility in the key source markets.
We have our tourism attachés who are at work right now and our ambassadors to ensure that we take advantage of this and lure more tourists to come to our destination. us as ministers, we are coming up with a strategy that is one and speaking about the SADC region, or the CASA region rather, because we are Zambia, Angola, Zimbabwe, Botswana and Namibia. That is the most frequent visited region by those source markets.
The broader Southern African region is watching this development closely, recognizing that this is a booster for the SADC tourism corridor.
The world needs to know that Zimbabwe and Africa is open for business. You don't only have to reroute to visit Africa from the Middle East. You can also reroute to come to the southern tip from South Africa and reroute to all the different African countries.
As Zimbabwe continues to refine its tourism offerings and strengthen international partnerships, the country's profile as a must-visit destination continues to attract international attention. From the Eastern Highlands to Victoria Falls, the nation is poised to welcome a new wave of international tourists seeking authentic African experiences. Yolande Moyo, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Sunday edition is streaming live on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. It's always a pleasure to know where you are streaming live from. I see a comment there saying they are watching from Shamva, as well as one from Manchester. It's always good to know. Do take part in the conversation there on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online. Off to a break. Stay with us.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is pleased to advise the public that the upgraded Big 5 ZiG banknotes are now in circulation, effective 7 April 2026. The new Big 5 ZiG banknote series has been distributed across the country in sufficient quantities to meet anticipated cash demand. The rollout begins with 10 ZiG, 20 ZiG, and the new 50 ZiG note. The 100 ZiG and 200 ZiG will be introduced gradually. 1 ZiG, 2 ZiG and 5 ZiG coins remain in circulation, and the previous ZiG banknotes will continue to circulate alongside the upgraded Big 5 ZiG notes. They will gradually be phased out. The upgraded ZiG banknotes are available through banks, ATMs, and HomeLink kiosks nationwide. Let's embrace and use the upgraded Big 5 ZiG banknotes with pride and confidence. ZiG. Stable, secure, sustainable. Every day, millions of moments travel through the air. A call home, a payment made, a lesson learned, a life saved. But behind each moment is something steady, something quiet, unseen, unshaken, powering connection, supporting lives. This is Econet Infraco, Zimbabwe's largest private infrastructure group, comprising towers, power, and real estate. We build and operate the essential systems that hold the country together with scale, certainty, and purpose. We bring together 3 powerful engines of progress under one roof. Towers that carry the signal, clean energy that keeps it alive, and foundations that hold it all in one place. Because behind every connection, every transaction, every step forward, there's a quiet force. Econet Infraco, built for resilience, designed for growth.
Welcome to a decade of innovation, a legacy of trust, as Oxford Properties celebrates 10 years of excellence, from the success of Aspendale Park to our newest vision. We invite you to discover Borrowdale Park. Experience premium stands ranging from 400 to 800 square meters, with flexible payment plans designed for your future. Perfectly situated less than 5 kilometers from Sam Levy's village, this is where convenience meets sophistication. This is a complete lifestyle sanctuary, a secure, gated community featuring on-site schools, a medical clinic, and a modern shopping mall. From our dynamic business park to paved wellness trails and dedicated sports facilities, every detail, including a dedicated fire station, is built into the heart of the community. With title deeds guaranteed and professionally designed house plans ready for you, your peace of mind is our priority. Borrowdale Park. designed for living.
Texting while driving. What a dangerous thing to do on the wheel. Be smart. Put the phone down. Don't text and drive. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. Safety first. There is no second chance.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair 2026 is here. It's Zimbabwe's premium platform for trade, innovation, and building global connections. For more than half a century, the ZITF show has been at the heart of innovation and integration of ideas behind Zimbabwe's industrialization and economic growth. At ZITF 2026, we take this a step further, positioning local, regional, and international businesses for global integration, driving Zimbabwe and Africa's transformation. Be a part of the journey to unlocking local, continental, and global opportunities at ZITF 2026 from the 20th to the 25th of April 2026 in Bulawayo. Register today and unleash your business growth. ZITF 2026, Connected Economies, Competitive Industries.
Where excellence meets elegance. Driving sports tourism and showcasing Zimbabwe to the world. The Presidential Golf Tournament, championed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. Join instantly with Net1 self-registration and stay connected from the first week. With One Money Up, send money instantly, anywhere, effortlessly.
Swing for the Presidential Golf Tournament.
Swing for Net1, swing for progress, swing for Zimbabwe.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Stakeholders in Bulawayo converge for an anti-substance abuse family fun day at Joshua Nkomo International Airport this Saturday, with various activities aimed at promoting drug-free lifestyles taking center stage.
A place usually known for the arrivals and departures of planes this Saturday brought together families, aviation stakeholders and car enthusiasts in a vibrant atmosphere filled with entertainment, including car spinning, helicopter rides and interactive activities.
I came to support my dad. My dad organized this, so we came to support him. And it's a fun event. There's lots of things going on. And we're really enjoying ourselves. It's a good event.
Today we're out here to witness spinning. As it is said, it's family fun day. You see, so we as Team Golf One, and we're out here just to represent the car culture. And to promote the anti-drugs movement, there's other things you can do besides drugs.
I just had a ride on the helicopter. It was loads of fun. It was nice. The views are amazing.
The presence of the Ethiopian Airlines team added significance to the event as they joined in commemorating their major milestone of a 8-year anniversary in the aviation sector.
We are celebrating Ethiopian Airlines 80 years anniversary today. So we thought there is no better way to celebrate it than this event, because it is a stakeholders event.
Meanwhile, the Airports Company of Zimbabwe says such initiatives are key in addressing the growing challenge of substance abuse, particularly among the youth, while fostering hope through family and career support systems.
As the Airports Company Private Limited, we are here today to do an anti-substance abuse family fun day. The drug problem has been a pandemic actually into Zimbabwean youth, and even to the grown-ups. So we are here supporting the nation in campaigning for a nation against drugs. As we move towards the vision 2030 of an upper middle income economy, we want to achieve that. We need a drug-free generation.
The Family Fun Day not only provided entertainment, but also served as a reminder of the importance of collective efforts in building a drug-free society while celebrating milestones within key sectors of the economy.
A government has reiterated the critical role of traditional leaders in propelling community development and improvement of livelihoods.
It was all joy for the Bere community in Masvingo this Saturday as Mr. Petros Murombe Mawekwe was installed as substantive chief Bere at Chidzikwe Primary School. The community is upbeat of improved development in their area following the installation of the new chief.
Mafupa Bere amuka tadzoka mukati menyika yedu tapiwa simba redu toda kutenda zvikuru hurumende nesimba rayatipa nokuti gonera kwayaita. Saka nokudaro zvirongwa zvose zvichavandudzwa nehurumende, tichashanda pamwe chete namambo Bere tichitevedzera gwara rinodiwa nomutemo wenyika.
Nokuda kwokuti mambo vavapo tinovimba tichawana zvose uye tinovimba tichaguta.
Izvozvo zvatifadza kunyanyisa. Data sokuti I've been resurrected. Tasenda damuka kubva kuvakafa nokuti ushe hwakafa iko zvino kwamuka.
Speaking after the installation ceremony, the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Daniel Garwe, said government structures must work with traditional leaders in implementing development programs. Sentiments echoed by Masvingo Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Ezra Chadzamira.
Rimwe basa renyu nderekubatanidza vana. Itai kuti vana vabatane kuti mudunhu mugare mine runyararo. Runyararo ndorwudiwa munyika. Ndo zvimwe zvakanzi naPresident muite. Ndosaka vakati dzoredzerai umambo hwese hwakanga hwapwanywa nevarungu ngahudzokere. Madzimambo isu sedunhu reMasvingo tinonyanya kuvakoshesa nekuti ndivo muzongozongo worunyararo webudiriro nekubatana mumakommunity zedu.
President of the Chiefs Council, Chief Mchane Kumalo, implored traditional leaders to lead by example in their communities.
Ngoba ngumsebenzi okumele usebenzele abantu ohlala labo esigabeni sakho, labanye abanjengama-councillors lama-ofisi kahulumende endaweni zethu emaphandleni lapha sokulala okuthiwa ngama-NGO labo kumele usebenze labo.
The Bere chieftainship of the Shumba Totem was abolished 125 years ago by the Rhodesian settler regime as punishment for resisting colonial occupation, and the Second Republic resuscitated it in 2019. May Smatna, ZBC News, Masvingo.
The Embassy of Iran in Zimbabwe has described the persistent airstrikes on Iran from the United States and Israel as a grave violation of international law and a threat to global stability. Let's hear more.
An event to observe the 40th day since the martyrdom of the leader of Iran, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, has been held in Harare this Sunday. The event served as a platform for many, including the Islamic community, to express solidarity with the people of Iran after the late leader's assassination in February.
We as the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs in Zimbabwe, we completely condemn with these unjust wars. And we really pray that peace be obtained immediately.
This moment, whereby we celebrate the martyrdom of Imam Sayyid Ali Khamenei, this moment has elevated him into a living legacy that continues or that will continue to inspire millions.
With the start of the recent war and the martyrdom of the supreme leader, the martyr Imam, a new chapter has been opened by all the oppressed and freedom seekers of the world against arrogance. And we hope this battle is the same last battle that leads to the appearance of the Imam of the time, Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif.
Ambassador of Iran to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Amir Hossein, reflected on the late leader's influence on global anti-imperialist movements.
The martyr Ayatollah Khomeini was a very influential political figure across the world. We had a very close cooperation during his presidency. He visited your country, and he was one of the ardent, people who committed themselves to the issue of combating colonization and imperialistic hegemony across the world, including in Africa.
The late Iranian leader Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei was reportedly killed during the initial wave of US airstrikes on Iran in February this year. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
A Sunday edition will take a break. Stay with us for more news right after this.
The 2026 edition of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, ZITF, is here. The City of Kings, Bulawayo, will come alive from the 20th to the 25th of April as the annual International Expo takes center stage under the theme, Connected Economies, Competitive Industries.
Don't miss this exceptional opportunity to showcase your brand to Zimbabwe and the rest of the world through ZBC TV, digital, and radio platforms. For exciting advertising packages, contact Robson on 0716 484 712, Clarice on 0712 842 138, or email marketing@zbc.co.zw.
The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe would like to warn all motorists and passengers against overloading, as this can lead to loss of life and premature death. Overloading can cause instability to the vehicle, thereby making it harder to steer, whether on straight roads, bends, or when it hits a pothole. Say no to overloading. You never know, the life you save might be your own. This message was brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. TSCZ, keeping Zimbabwe's roads safe.
Thank you for staying with us. While some people use social media to spread toxic and harmful content, others are using digital media to transform the learning process. Let's get more in our This and That feature.
Popularly known as a matriculate teacher, a 25-year-old student from Morgan State Teachers College has taken Facebook and TikTok by storm through engaging videos of him conducting music-related learning sessions.
The smiling faces on his students tell a story of how they are enjoying time in class.
Area of a triangle. Understand science. All right, cool. Area of a rectangle. Left hand side. Depay my exam, the computer.
Smartphone, desktop, tablet, laptop.
We tracked down this talented young man just to get an insight into the creativity.
Ndakaona kuti vana vamazuvano vanonyanya kufarira music mukunzwisisa
saka vachifarira music kudaro ini ndine aim yekuti dei vana vapasa chikoro dei vana vagona chikoro saka why not kutora mates dzacho ndodzisa pamusic vanofarira so that pavachinge vachiimba music vanenge vachitoimba mates vanenge vachitoimba science chakwana inonzi education 5.0 inotikurudzira kuva innovative. I think tofanira kuramba tichiuya nema-new ways of teaching.
From English language, mathematics, science and Shona, to mention but a few, this form of edutainment simplifies complex concepts. Festus Nkunguru says ABC News, Harare.
Azvisizvo zvandabvunza. Kuseka. Matanga akatsika kekusekana. Vanangu zvechikoro tisasekana. Zvigume nhasi handitanzwanana.
One will surely pass in such an energetic class like that. Now, a grade 7 learner from Zimbabwe has designed an automated underground safety car that embodies the concept of zero harm by minimizing human exposure to unstable underground environments. Now, we get more from Courage Bushe in our Science and Tech feature tonight.
At a time when the mining industry is under increasing pressure to modernize operations and improve safety, a grade 7 student at Erimepo Group of Schools in Zimbabwe, Joseph Chekenya, is proving that innovation starts in the classroom after designing an automated underground safety car. Putting theory into practice, Chekenya has combined basic electronics and coding to come up with a programmed safety system that prevents underground mine fatalities using ultrasonic sensors to detect obstacles. The innovation integrates sensors and autonomous navigation to assess rock stability in real time while transmitting performance data to the Surface Control Office. Chekenya's vehicle also features location tracking, mobile alerts, an object detection component, and automatic light switching. The safety features aim to prevent accidents and improve response times.
It's a car that moves with the miners when they're in the cave. Once there's any obstacle that humans generally can't avoid themselves, it detects it using a special sensor called an ultrasonic sensor. The ultrasonic sensor can be visualized as your eyes. So, for example, my hand. Once it sees there's my hand, it sends a signal to this component called the Arduino Uno. The Arduino Uno is a microcontroller. The microcontroller is just like the brain. It controls the whole system. It helps in decision making. It tells the other components what to do and when to do it. So when you're coding, you'll be using certain algorithms, certain patterns to try and make sure the robot itself can do things by itself. My robot is an autonomous vehicle, meaning it can do everything by itself. All it just needs is a sustainable power source.
Erimepo Group of Schools robotics instructor Mr. Adriot Tsaura highlighted that the innovation confirms that schools have fully embraced the heritage-based curriculum.
It's now bearing fruit because now learners can do projects, can create and design, develop products that are needed in the market.
Chekenya's innovation demonstrates that Zimbabwe is coming up with sustainable solutions for every sector, including mining. Mining is now safer, smarter, and efficient thanks to brilliant young minds like Chekenya. Courage Bushe's ZBC News, Zimbabwe.
Heritage-based curriculum creating geniuses. The future is bright. Let's now take a look at what's buzzing in the world of sport. Zimbabwe's second half dominance was in vain as they fell 2-0 to Uganda in a 2026 FIFA Under-19 Women's World Cup qualifier at Ngoni Stadium this Saturday.
Zimbabwe have left themselves with too much to do after falling 2-0 to Uganda in a FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifier that was played right here in Norton. The East Africans scored 2 goals in the first half, and Zimbabwe could not find even a first save. Even though they had a distinguished second half, they could not find the killer punch, and the East Africans looked tactically better. So there is so much to do going into the second leg. The crowd had come in their numbers. Also, the brass band complimented all those efforts. Unfortunately, the goals just could not come.
I can say football is about preparing. Yeah, considering the time that we had to prepare, we did very well. And yes, we can, because every team got weaknesses, and we have seen their weaknesses. We will try to work on that.
It's not yet over, but definitely there is so much to do. Zimbabwe need 2 clear goals when they go through to Kampala for the second leg of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup qualifier to make sure that they progress to the second round of this competition. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News, Norton.
Still in football, Dynamos fought back from a goal down to a salvage 1-1 draw against FC Platinum in a Casalaga Premier Soccer League clash held at Urufaro Stadium today.
The visitors struck first before half-time when Eric Makonore's cross found Garikaidze Matsika, who slaughtered home to leave Dimbari trailing at the break. The Glamour boys returned with fire, pinning FC Platinum back, and finally got their breakthrough when the visitors' goalkeeper Manfred Ekoi brought down Perfect Chikwende in the box. Abel Gwatizo stepped up and coolly converted the penalty to level the score.
Back, there he comes, and plunges it into the back of the net.
The result saw Dynamos drop to third on 15 points, while Hard Rock leapfrogged them into second position with 16 points, level with the log leaders Caps United. FC Platinum are seventh with the 10 points. Elsewhere, Blower Giants Highlanders' winless streak continued after a 0-0 stalemate with ZPC Kariba at Barberfields, while Hirentals handed Manika Diamonds a 2-1 defeat at the Greenfield Arena. Matchday 7 concludes this Monday with the Moors hosting Zimbabwe at Ngone Stadium. Anna Shembrambedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Away from football, Harare's Mfakose district came alive after hosting the Harare Volleyball Association Open Tournament, which saw Black Mambas men and women's teams dominating proceedings this Sunday.
8 teams battled across both the divisions in a high-energy showdown that capped the tournament's return to the capital following last edition's Maronde stop. Western Collins Volleyball Club A claimed Mashonaland East owners, but this weekend belonged to the members. The men's team delivered a ruthless 3-0 demolition of Shalom in the final to seize gold, leaving Shalom with silver and Black Rhinos clutching bronze. Their path to glory was paved with a dominance, a perfect sweep of Pool A, crushing UZ Wolves, Naba and D Knights without dropping a set. The women's squad matched that intensity, stunning Diamonds 3-1 to complete the golden double and cement the Black Mambas as the undisputed force in Harare volleyball. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
That's all there was buzzing in sport. Straight into showbiz. The Harare International Conference Center was the place to be for old school lovers who had a feel of local classics courtesy of various performances at the Legends Night. Let's take a listen.
Curated by the Intotal Band, the show has built its identity around reviving songs that define earlier generations, reconnecting audiences with musical moments many thought were lost. It has also drawn a cross-generational audience, from young listeners discovering classics to older listeners reliving their youth. The show attracted music fans from Harare and beyond, living up to its billing as the Intotal Band thrilled the audience with a well-coordinated and rich discography from both living and late Zimbabwean musicians. Fans were taken down memory lane as they danced to classics from the likes of the late Dr. Oliver Mtukudzi, Leonard Jagata, System Tazida, Simon Chimbetu, Andy Brown, Zigzag Band, Mai Patai, Alik Macheso, Nicholas Zagaria, Mbuya Madue, Leonard Dembo, and Fungisa Izwakawapano Mashawawe, among others. The voice imitations sounded real, so much that one would have been mistaken to think that some of the musical legends were the ones performing. In a surprise act, the legendary all-man band, the Cool Crooners, serenaded the crowd with their hit, Bulugwalami. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, pure nostalgia there in our showbiz, taking us to the weather report and forecast.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and thank you for joining us for today's weather report and forecast. My name is Runako Manzira. This morning, we had mild temperatures countrywide, becoming mostly sunny and hot, although a bit of cloud in the northeastern areas. We encourage you to keep hydrated and wear a sun hat during afternoon activities, as we're expecting these conditions to persist into tomorrow. Getting into our minimum temperatures for tonight, it should be mild throughout the country, although a bit chilly in Gweru with 12 degrees and a bit warmer in the Zambezi Valley, Kariba with 20 degrees. For our maximum temperatures tomorrow, we're expecting warm to hot conditions throughout the country, especially in Kariba and Chiredzi with 32 degrees, and a bit chilly in Harare with 25 degrees in the afternoon for tomorrow. Getting into our detailed forecast, Bulawayo should see partly cloudy to cloudy conditions, although it should be warm throughout the day, a minimum temperature of 14 for tomorrow. In Matobo, a similar situation, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions and warm daytime conditions. In Gwanda, a bright start to the week with mostly sunny skies and warm daytime conditions. In Gweru, it should be sunny tomorrow, although a bit of clouds for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with warm conditions and a bit chilly in the morning for tomorrow. In Mashingo, it should be warm and cloudy for Monday, although a bit less cloudy on Tuesday, and warm temperatures throughout. In Mutare, should be sunny for Monday and Wednesday, clearing on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with warm temperatures throughout the week. In Nyanga, mostly sunny skies, although a bit chilly in the morning with a minimum temperature of 10 degrees, becoming a bit warm in the afternoon with a maximum temperature of 23 degrees. These conditions should persist throughout much of the week. In Marondera, we're expecting chilly conditions in the morning, although becoming a bit warm by afternoon. In Harare, similar conditions to Marondera with mostly sunny skies for tomorrow, though a bit cloudy throughout the week. In Kadoma, mostly sunny for Monday as well, warm temperatures for the forecast period, although a bit of cloud from Tuesday. In Chinoi, 20% chance of showers by Thursday, although partly cloudy to cloudy conditions starting from Tuesday. It should have warm daytime temperatures. In Victoria Falls, should be warm throughout the week, although a bit of cloud setting in from Tuesday. In Lupane, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions, though warm for much of the day for the whole forecast period. In Bindura, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions as well, and a bit warm in the afternoon. In Kariba, should be clear skies for Monday, although cloudy as the week progresses. This has been our weather forecast. Thank you for tuning in.
Many thanks to the Met Services for the way of the weather. Well, that's a wrap on the Sunday edition. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do have a pleasant week ahead from us here at Pocket Hill. Joyce?
Good night.
Good night.